Hey folks, filming from another strange location. I'm doing some work in my garage today. I got a bunch of stuff out here that I'm sort of working on thinning out. Didn't have room for it in the house that I'm currently living in, so I've been living out of boxes for some things like books, CDs, things like that. And I thought to do a video on my first experience with all-in-one guitars, or AIO guitars. I did something similar with Hard Luck Kings a while back. I related my first experience, which was found wanting. I haven't written them off. I may come back to them at some point. However, that first experience, there were issues that I wasn't happy about, and I've had a lot of response on that reporting. So with all-in-one guitars, or AIO guitars, who are these distributor for AIO and for Wolf. I've been wanting to check them out for a while. As you know, I've been doing all kinds of reviews of Les Paul copy guitars, and I think I've done most of them now. The Bad Cats, the IYVs, the Fireflies, the Leo James, Monoprice, or Indio, Licks Pro, a bunch of them. I've done a lot of them now. And the one that I haven't checked out yet, that I've been wanting to check out, is the Wolf Les Paul copy guitar. But the thing about the Wolf and the AIO guitars is they're considerably more money than all these other brands that I've been talking about. The Les Paul Wolf guitar that I've been wanting to check out with tax is close to $500. So it's not a $100-$300 guitar. It's considerably more. But I've been wanting to check one out. I've been wanting to include one on this channel because I think, you know, they deserve to be in the argument. There's a lot of good buzz on that particular model and their guitars in general. You've seen other videos by other vloggers on YouTube that have included reviews on those guitars. So I contacted them a couple of months ago because I noticed they have a page on their website for blems and seconds, blem, you know, finished blem guitars. And I told them who I was. I didn't ask for a free guitar. I didn't ask for a review guitar. I said I wanted, if ever a blem guitar comes up, the model and finish that I asked for, would they consider a discount, selling to me with a discount, and that I was hoping to review the guitar on the channel. I received a response from them that was polite, a little bit surprising in some ways. I won't read you the whole response, but basically they declined. And the last sentence of the email I got was kind of a blunt statement. We're not interested in reviews at this time, which I found kind of interesting because a lot of people, a lot of guitar companies are seeking to get their instruments into the hands of people that will do an online review, because that brings in a lot of traffic. So again, just to emphasize, not fishing for a free guitar, not asking for a comp guitar at all. They have a bunch of blems, and I'm looking for a specific blem. Will you keep me in mind, kind of thing, which is, you know, something that I've done before with companies to good success. But to hear them say, yeah, we're not interested in getting reviews at this time, was interesting, because that tells me that all the people that have been reviewing the Wolf guitars, if this is a consistent stance by the company, they must have paid for them. In other words, based on the interaction I have, they're not doing what a lot of other companies are doing and sending out review guitars to big YouTube channels. At least that's the inference I got. So that was the first interaction. Then I waited for a while. Just recently, the model and finish that I did want came up on their blem page, and it's still kind of expensive. They only mark it down about $25. So let's say you pay $4.75 for the new guitar. The blem is, $4.50. It's still a lot of money. I think they could do a little bit better for finished blem guitars than just 25 off. But this is something I've seen at other companies. It's put me off from buying guitars from other companies as well, particularly Guitar Fetish. Sometimes they mark a guitar down, $25, $30, $50, $60 with a neck crack. And I just think that's inconceivable. To only knock it down that much for something that is a pretty big piece of structural damage on the guitar. So I just pulled the trigger and I've got the guitar coming. And now comes the good part of the review. Not that the first part was bad. It was just a little bit surprising. So I ordered the guitar and within hours I received a setup form to fill out, and quite specific choices on the setup, which I filled out. Because the setup is included in the price, it's not like the Hard Luck King situation where I declined the setup because they want to charge extra for it. And then I was met with a situation where they sent me a defective guitar because I didn't order the setup, which I think is bad practice. Immediately better with AIO is they just do it for all guitars. It's included in the price. So you get a form and they ask you for your setup preferences. You fill it out, you send it back. And even more impressive, the next email came, I think within a matter of hours. Maybe it was the next morning or something like that, but it was a very, very short time between the two emails saying that the guitar was shipped. So from purchase to setup to the guitar being shipped out, it was a really short interim, which tells me, if indeed it was shipped, it hasn't arrived yet, it tells me that they have a very, very tight setup where they get guitars out quickly. Also, what I liked, even though obviously these are more expensive guitars, and I will evaluate that when I get one, also what I liked is they don't charge extra shipping. So the shipping is included in the price. So you pay what, $4.75 for the guitar. That includes shipping, which is probably $45 to $65 UPS. Although being a business, they probably get a rate which is more like $25, $35, something like that. However, they don't add shipping on top, which a lot of companies do, and a lot of companies gouge on the shipping. I've run into it a few times with some of these online vendors. So it includes your shipping, very quick with the setup, and it's seemingly the setup's done pretty quickly upon sending the form, and then the guitar's shipped out. So this part of their operations is quite impressive. I don't think I've seen a quick turnaround quite like that with any of the other companies. And I haven't seen the free setup included to where you can make specific requests, quite detailed requests on the setup. I know that other companies like Orangewood claim to do a setup of every guitar, but they don't ask you. They just do it, and there's a debate online as to whether that's actually true or not. I tend to think it is. However, yeah, I can see some slipping through the gaps. Some people have received poorly set up guitars from that company and other companies that claim to do setups as well. So that was my first experience. The guitar hasn't arrived yet. So the initial response from AIO was a little bit surprising that they, sort of dismissed me and the idea of the guitar being reviewed. Maybe that's a policy thing. Maybe they don't put much stock in reviews. It's more online testimonials of people who buy the guitars that they're working with, and it's not unprecedented. I used to have a publishing venture that I did for 10 years with books, and we realized really quickly when I was running that company or co-running it that sending out free books for review didn't really bring any traffic, and it just cost us a lot of money. Every time you send out a free book, that's money you're paying to ship out something and not getting anything back, and it goes out, something's going out of your inventory. So it was a loss each time. And the reviews that people did on the books we didn't see sales spikes from them. So we had to be very, very judicious about giving out free samples of things, as smaller companies tend to have to be. And maybe that is what AIO is dealing with. These are $400 or $500 guitars. Let's say that the cost of them to them is half that or a third of that. It's still $100, $200 guitar, their cost. So sending out a free one for someone to review is a big loss for a small company, whereas a bigger company, like a Martin or a Fender or something like that, it's chump change, couch change. So yeah, I can see why some smaller companies are reluctant to send out free guitars to people who have YouTube channels, and I don't blame them at all for taking that stance. However, this was not a request for a free guitar. It was just having them maybe find a discount one and send it to me. I was going to pay for it and then include it in my reviewing process with the other guitars that I do. And they were polite. Yeah, your channel looks cool and all that, but we're just not interested in sending out review guitars. So honest, a bit surprising, but maybe they are a smaller company, and that's an expense that they can't afford at this particular time, or they're just very picky about which requests they accept. That might be the case too. Maybe if it's a really, really big channel, it would be a different answer. So I thought I'd relate that to you. Again, impressed with the speed in which they do things. The guitar should be here any day. It is one of the blood red Les Paul models, the highly flamed one. So I'm looking forward to assessing it and maybe stacking it up against some of the other Les Paul models that we've looked at in recent weeks. So there you go. All right, folks. See you on the next one.